Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a review and I'm going to be showing you some swatches of the highly anticipated collection from MAC Cosmetics, which is the Aaliyah collection. Now Aaliyah is part of my youth. When I was a teenager, I have all her albums, I know all her songs. I was a huge fan. Aaliyah is from my generation. She was born in 1979. I was born in 1982. So she was only about 2-3 years older than me. For those of you who don't know who Aaliyah is, I'd be actually quite surprised, because I find that despite the fact that she died so many years ago, her music is still played regularly on the radios in the UK anyway. Aaliyah was an R&B singer in the 90s. She actually started out really young. She was only like 15-16 when she became really famous. So obviously if she was 15-16, I was like 13 years old. And everybody loved her. She had a very soft, soulful voice. She was a very humble kind of person. Whenever you used to watch her on TV and interviews, she just had that kind of personality that everybody liked. She was very sweet, very kind, very good-natured. There was never really that much drama that followed her around other than R. Kelly, and we won't even talk about R. Kelly. So I think it has taken a little bit of time and quite a lot of petitions to MAC to create this collection to honour Aaliyah. Aaliyah, like I said, she was 22 years old when she died in 2001. I was 18-19 years old, and 2001, quite a lot of bad things happened that year, like 9/11, Aaliyah died, you know, loads of changeable things. That's actually when I moved out of my home. I moved into university, lived on my own for the first time. So it was one of those years where there were big dramatic kind of changes, whether they were positive or negative changes. But anyway, so she obviously passed away quite a while ago now, so quite a lot of celebrities and whatnot have petitioned MAC to do a collection which honours her. And this collection was put together by her brother and her makeup artist. And there have been quite a few people, and I've seen on Instagram and things like that, when they were showing what her makeup line is going to look like, and they're like, that's not Aaliyah, that's not Aaliyah. And I'm like, sorry, how old are you? 19. You're 19 now. This whole collection screams Aaliyah to me, to her fans, and especially those of us who actually grew up in the 90s and know what 90s makeup was like. 90s makeup was very much frosty lipsticks. Now a lot of her range has got part of her range has got frosty nudes, because that's what she used to wear quite a lot, as well as red lipsticks, because she was well known for loving bright glossy red lips, and deeper toned lips as well, especially when she starred in the film Queen of the Damned, where she played the vampire. I mean, her role in it was quite small, and but obviously iconic. Her image on there is amazing. And she also went through this kind of like gothic kind of stage as well, where she was wearing a lot of dark lipsticks like black and deep plum and stuff like that. And also because she was at that precocious age of going from her teens into her 20s, more into adulthood, that her makeup started to reflect her getting a little bit older. So she went from that fresh-faced kind of quite neutral, natural look to looking a lot more grown up, a lot more womanly. I mean, Aaliyah was the one who brought us all the baggy bottoms with the crop tops. I mean, I never had abs like Aaliyah, and I'll never have abs like Aaliyah. But she brought in that style, you know, the bandana with the glasses. That was 90s. That is how the 90s was for people like me, people like her, and other people from that age group as well. Now, this collection, for some reason, it has lip liners in it, but those lip liners didn't come to the UK, so I wasn't actually able to buy any of them. But this entire makeup look is one that I have already filmed before this video, because I wanted to do one inspired by one of Aaliyah's makeup looks. So from the We Need a Resolution video, well, this was one of her makeup looks that she had. So I've actually used her collection, or the stuff that I bought from the collection, to create this look, which I will put up. Hopefully this video got first than that one, so that you guys can try to recreate something similar if you do like it. I didn't buy any of her lip glosses purely because I don't really tend to wear lip glosses that much. And as much as I love Aaliyah, I wanted to celebrate her life by buying some of the things from her collection. I had to be realistic in that I only wanted to buy stuff that I was actually going to use. And she was quite big on glossy lips, and I'm not a big fan of gloss per se, but I like glossy lips in terms of lipstick. So I bought the eyeshadow palette, the bronzer, as well as 2 lipsticks. Alright, just to remind myself, because obviously I didn't buy the whole collection. So altogether there were, how many lipsticks? 1, 2, 3, 4. One was like a dark black. I wasn't really going to use it. And then the other one, which is called Try Again, is like a frosty nude, and I don't really tend to wear frosty nude, so I left that, and I got the other two. I didn't get any of the lip glosses, which again are a couple of dark shades and a nudie shade. I got the eyeshadow palette. There is one bronzer, and that's all you can buy in the UK. I do believe, like I said, in the US, there's a lip liner, 2 lip liners as well. But that's the basis of the collection. Aaliyah was mostly known for having quite neutral golden sort of eyes. But then when she vamped it up a little bit, she went a bit smoky on the eyes as well. So first things first, let's look at the packaging itself. So this is the packaging. It comes in this kind of eggplant sort of colour with her signature on it, and it says Aaliyah Haughton. Now I am a little bit confused by this, because as much as her full name was Aaliyah Haughton, she was never known by her full name. She was known as Aaliyah. So it always confused me when they decided to release this collection based on her, but decided to call it her full name rather than what her stage name was. Or it wasn't even her stage name, it was the name she was known by, Aaliyah. If you said to somebody, I'm listening to Aaliyah, they know who it was. It's not like her name was Jim, so you had to then clarify by giving her a surname. It's like Cher, Madonna, you know, Rihanna, Beyonce. But that aside, this is very sleek, very glossy looking, very Aaliyah. And this is what the actual packaging itself, the lipsticks and everything else looks like. I will show you close-ups shortly once I've just quickly gone over this. So like I said, out of the collection, I bought 2 lipsticks, and I bought the shades More Than a Woman and Hot Like. And then I got the eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. It's one of their ×9 palettes. And then I got the bronzer, which is called Baby Girl. Now quickly, I will just give a quick roundup before I show you swatches of stuff. The eyeshadow palette, I was surprised at how good it was. Now I have bought some of MAC's ×9 palettes in the past, and the quality hasn't always been so good. To be fair, from the research that I've done, because I couldn't actually, there were no names on the back, and I didn't really delve into the background of this collection as much as maybe more makeup addicts out there would have done, or people who are a lot bigger fans than me. There were no names on the back, so I just looked at it and just thought, let me buy it because I like Aaliyah. 4 out of 5 of these have been released in the past. However, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the quality of these. Quite a few of these are quite buttery, easy to blend, quite pigmented as well. And like I said, I was able to create this look with this palette. And out of all of these shades, I used 1, 2, 3, 4. I used 5 out of the 9 shades, and I had no issues in terms of quality or problems with the way that it blends or patchiness or anything like that. Overall, I think I would give this a 9 out of 10. And the reason I wouldn't give it a full 10 is because one shade is just so-so. It's not that great. But overall, this one is definitely all Aaliyah. You can see the kind of neutral shades, ones where you can smoke it up a little bit. And then they threw in a few kind of a deep purpley shades. More so, I'm assuming, so that somebody could create this look. Because from that video, this look is very iconic. If you look on YouTube, all the Aaliyah videos out there, the majority of them are based around this makeup look. So overall, I think this is a pretty good palette. So for those of you out there that actually like these shades, you would definitely like this. For those of you who are Aaliyah fans, you would like this. But for those of you who are just on the market for a new eyeshadow palette, you may not like this, because they are geared towards specifically Aaliyah and what she liked and what she wore. So it's more of a kind of a fan kind of eyeshadow palette rather than one which is practical all the time. I mean, you can get daytime and nighttime looks out of this, which is a great thing. You've got a lovely gold on there as well. There is a nice mixture of shades, but overall I'm pretty happy with this. Now this bronzing powder called Baby Girl has got her signature on it. Now I do have to be very frank with you guys. The quality of it is great. The colour of it looks great on me. I'm wearing it on my cheeks. However, I don't understand this, considering that her brother and makeup artist were involved with creating this collection. Aaliyah was a black woman. This will not work on most black skin tones. Most deeper skin tones will not be able to wear this. I have layered it about 4 or 5 times for it to get to this intensity, and I have medium skin tone. I am a MAC NC40, NC42. I'm actually wearing NC42 foundation in the Pro Longwear today. But if I had trouble building up the colour, can you imagine if you are a woman of colour or a lot deeper than I am, and then you buy this because you're a fan, and this will not work with your skin tone at all. It's quite disappointing actually. Like I said, considering her brother, who is a black guy, also so is her makeup artist, yet you would release or allow to be released a colour which does not actually go with your own skin tone or Aaliyah's as well, because Aaliyah was about, I'd say about maybe 2 to 3 shades darker than me. Not a lot. She had quite a golden skin tone. I doubt very much that this would even suit her skin tone. So I'm quite disappointed in how this colour is, considering this is the only cheek product in the entire range. So if you did buy this with the intention of using it and you are darker than me, you won't be able to. Now the 2 lipsticks that I got, which is again More Than a Woman and Hot Like, they are both of the amplified cream lipsticks, which basically means they amplify your lips. They make your lips look larger because they're glossy. They wear really nicely. They're very comfortable. I don't find that they bleed. They are actually my favorite finish of MAC lipsticks. I love this. This is the one that I'm wearing right now. It's glossy, it's gorgeous. I've already had it on for about 3 hours. It has not moved, it has not bled. It's actually about 26 degrees in London today. I'm really, really hot. I'm actually starting to sweat. And sometimes when I wear a glossy lip, that starts to affect my lipstick and that it starts to bleed. I haven't found that that has happened with either of these. Both of these colours are absolutely gorgeous. They will go well with all skin tones. This is like your beautiful classic red and your beautiful kind of deepish burgundy plum. Both beautiful colours, and you'll absolutely love them, and the quality is excellent. I give these a 10 out of 10. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly swatch these and let you know what my thoughts are one by one. I did actually find out that these have all got individual names, so I'm just going to pull them off the internet and read along with them as I show them to you, because otherwise I'll be like, the one on the left that looks a bit white, rather than referring to it by its name, and then just let you know what my thoughts are about it. So as I showed you guys before, this is the packaging. This is the same for the bronzer as well as the eyeshadow palette. It's got my fingerprints all over it because it is that kind of glossy sort of look to it, but very clean, simple, with her name and her signature on it. And then it's the same with her packaging as well, very glossy, shiny. You can see my ring light shining off of it. And you open it up, there's a nice decent mirror inside, and then you should be able to hopefully see her signature, which is embossed onto the bronzer itself. Can you even see it? It's here. I swiped it once. Can you see it? Can you see it? This is my non-tanned hand, by the way. This hand is more tan, you should be able to see because of the summer and driving. This is my lighter hand. Where is it? Alright, I've swatched it another 3-4 times. It's here. I don't even think you can still see it, can you? Well, it's a very soft, goldeny sort of bronzer. Very easy to blend. It's got small golden particles in it, and you have to layer it about 1,000,000 times for it to actually show up. Disappointing. Okay, here's the eyeshadow palette. Again, with the glossy, plastic, hardcore kind of packaging. And then you open it up, and for some reason, that is a waste of space. They could have put a mirror there, but they didn't for whatever reason. So this is what they look like all together. So this first one here is called Love Smoke. This one is a beautiful bright silver colour, metallic one. It's absolutely gorgeous and excellent in quality. It's creamy, it's buttery, and it applies beautifully. This one here is called Magic More. This one is another excellent quality eyeshadow. It's a purpley brown sort of colour with a pearlescent sort of finish. I'm wearing this all over my lid. I layered something on top, but I wore this first and it applied like butter. Like literally butter that melted onto my skin. It's gorgeous. These are both one swipes, by the way. This one here is called Care For You. And this one is a pale kind of plummy sort of shade. Again, great quality. I actually layered that over that to create the look that I am wearing today. It's buttery, it's soft, it's easy to blend, and it layered beautifully over the darker shade. This one here is called Creative Copper. Another gorgeous shade. It's a metallic light to medium sort of gold. Excellent quality, love it. This one in the middle is called That Somebody. This one is an excellent quality eyeshadow as well. It's a soft matte brown shade. It's a kind of a warm golden brown, and it worked beautifully when I wore it through my crease, and it's an amazing transitional blending shade as well. This one here on the end is called Princess of Soul. Another excellent quality matte. It's like a dark, dirty charcoal brown, and it works amazingly in the crease, again where I used it with the other shade I mentioned. Blended beautifully, no snagging, no dragging. It's creamy and gorgeous to use. This shade here is called Deception. Now unfortunately this is the one that lets down the eyeshadow palette. You can barely see it on my hand, and I applied quite a thick swatch. It's a kind of a bronzy taupey shade with a glittery finish, but it doesn't adhere well to the skin, and it's one of those ones where you're going to have to layer it loads with loads of fallout before you get any sort of actual decent colour. So this one is a definite dud in the palette. This one here is called Gingersnap. This one is another excellent shade. It's a soft rosy coppery shade, and it's got a metallic finish. It's beautifully pigmented, it's buttery, creamy, easy to blend, and looks amazing on the eyes. And last but not least, this shade is called Dance in the Dark. And this is also a matte, and it's a deep purpley sort of brown, and it has a matte finish with cool undertones. It is slightly difficult to blend, like a lot of deep matte shades can be, but not too difficult. So rather than give it an A, I'd probably give it like a B minus. But it's still not as bad as like that one, and it's not as good as the other mattes that I've shown you, but it's still a pretty good matte. And then for the lipstick, same sort of glossy packaging that you can see, and this is what the bullet tube itself looks like. Really sleek, glossy, again with her name on it along with her signature. And this is the first lipstick, Hot Like. And this is the one that I'm wearing today, and it has an amplified cream finish, and you can see it is a medium bright red shade which will work well on all skin tones. This is the other shade that I got, More Than a Woman, which also has an amplified cream finish, and as you can see it's another gorgeous shade. It's kind of a medium toned berry shade and would also look amazing on all skin tones. Look how glossy and shiny they are. They're gorgeous. So that's it for my review and swatches of the Aaliyah Haughton collection. The definite standout ones for me are definitely these two lipsticks. I think that these are something that everybody would like. I don't think there's anybody out there that would hate it. Obviously, if you don't like bright, vibrant sort of shades, which these both are, you can always just mute them. You can blot them a little bit so that they're not as intense, but they will still remain glossy and look more like stains on the lips. And I also really like the eyeshadow palette. However, somebody like me, and I'm just talking about myself personally, who obviously gravitates more towards bright colours, if you don't like bright colours, you may not like this, as it's quite a deep muted eyeshadow palette. However, you may want to get it even if you do like bright colours, because if like me you're just a fan of Aaliyah and you just wanted to have something because of that reason. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Have you bought any of the collection? What are your thoughts of it? Or are you not going to get any of it, and why not? What do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are below. Other than that, I hope you guys are wonderful and great and you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.